I'm back from Portugal.
Yes. Hello, Wendy Stuart. How are you?
It's so good to be back. I had a great time. But first of all, let me just say welcome to If These Walls Could Talk. I am Wendy Stuart.
I am Tym Moss, and I want to hear all about Portugal.
Oh my God, it was just really amazing. First of all, as many people who are watching know, lots of Americans are moving there.
Yeah.
And very cool Americans. I started in Lisbon. The art scene is completely blow away, and I can't wait to talk about the art scene with our guest today because she is an artist as well as a singer and a performer. But the art scene there is very different than here. I often feel here it's very bandwagon bitch. You look at the things that are in a lot of the galleries and you're like, why is that thing on the wall? The art in Lisbon in the galleries was just incredible. And the people creating the art, you know how here the art scene can be very highbrow, right?
Yeah.
It's not like that there. The artists all want to talk to you and tell you the story behind what they did. So the people were great. The food, of course, was really amazing. And, I spent my time walking through medieval villages. Can you imagine?
So I loved your pictures. And again, it looks so ancient. It just like around every corner would just be something new, something old, not new.
There was such respect for the old, the buildings, the monuments. I mean, the amount of things from the 1100s and a lot of these castles you could hike to, it was difficult. You had to be in really good shape. And I did one of them and I was walking along the edge of the top of the fortress and there was like a really steep drop below and no wall or anything. And I'm like, this is wild, totally wild to be able to do this. It was like going back in time, like time traveling.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you a very cool thing that I did do when I got to Porto, which is the other big city. Everyone told me you have to go to that very, very old bookstore where J.K. Rowling sat on the red staircase, the spiral staircase, and wrote Harry Potter. I mean, that is the
wow
that she did. And of course, I'm no fan of her, but I love Harry Potter. I love the books. And I went there and it is just absolutely fantastic. The bookstore is from the 1800s. The moldings and the books that they carry there, J.R. Tolkien, all the incredible classic fantasy stuff. It was wonderful. Unfortunately, I got lost coming out of there. I took a $6 cab ride there and I thought, I'll find my place back on the waterfront when I leave. Well, after walking in a circle for an hour and people like not being able to help me, not because they didn't want to. I had one of those big tourist maps and they were trying to show. I can't read a goddamn map. And then I tried using the Google phone, where you put in where you're going and where you are. Well, that didn't work either because I think none of the spelling was right. And I'm lucky I wasn't hit for money or anything because I had on reading glasses and my big tourist map and my colorful clothing, and it screamed tourists. So I was able to resolve my situation. I saw a Louis Vuitton store. I'm like, someone's got to speak English in there.
Yeah.
I went in and I didn't know why I put this accent on when I'm in foreign countries. I said, "Excuse me, madam, I am terribly lost. Do you speak English?" What the hell kind of sentence is that? It was like kitchen English. Our guest is laughing. And the woman started laughing at me. She said, "Yes, I do speak English. And no, I don't think you're lost. Where are you trying to go?" And I said, "I need to get back to the waterfront. That's where my hotel is." And she said to me, "Come with me, my dear." And we walked to the doorway of her store. And she said, 2 stores next to me, you can even see it, is a sardine store. They sell sardines there. It's like the delicacy. She said, "You're going to make a right at that sardine store and stay on that street and don't get off." And that was all the way back to the waterfront. And it did. So here I am. I'm here.
You made it back from the waterfront.
I did. I'm right back from the waterfront. But so great to see you again, Tym. I know you're gearing up to do 50 Shades of Gay on the road.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, we head out tonight. We've got shows in San Diego this weekend. And then we come back and you and I are going to be hosting the cabaret room at the Lower Eastside Festival.
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend on that Friday.
Yeah.
And then we leave again later that week to go to Atlanta.
Right.
And then I'll be down in Tampa and then back up to Chattanooga, Tennessee. And yeah, I'm just going to be kind of all over the place. But this last week was my birthday week.
Yes.
And I don't normally even celebrate, but everybody was calling going, "Oh, your birthday's coming up. I want to take you out to dinner. I want to take you out to lunch."
Yeah.
So Michael Musto took me out last Wednesday, and then it was just constant from there.
Right.
I got my hair cut again, my birthday cut from Mark Diawas
over on the East Side. And the Michael Musto picture, it hadn't been cut yet.
No, right.
It's
like bouffant.
I was like, what happened to Tim while I was gone?
And then my friends in New Jersey, Lois and Doug, they took me up by Nyack.
Nyack. Right.
And we went up to this wonderful Italian restaurant up there and had some pasta. And then on my birthday, my friend Jessica from the Bronx, she and her daughter Deborah took me over to a Mexican restaurant in the Bronx.
I love it.
And it was a ball. It was just so much fun.
Well, I have to pull up the mirror. I haven't been around, but I want to definitely celebrate your birthday with you at some point. So,
okay, I'll keep celebrating.
One month. So when you have a little break in your schedule, if I have one in mind, we will definitely. You got a nice slick new haircut, so I'll dine with you.
Okay.
Your hair looks
actually maybe before we host at the Lower East Side Fest, maybe we could grab a bite to eat.
I think that's a really good idea. Nothing like hosting on a full stomach to get your juices flowing. And anyway, so this person I have on today, we got to be in a great film, fun film together that Jed Ryan and Clover Honey were producing. Tim was in that film, so a lot of our friends were in it. And I was really fortunate enough. I love when people do this. She randomly called me up and said, "I know you're really busy, but do you want to have lunch one day?" And I thought, I love when people do that. I mean, so many people, and people they just don't do that, right? So she did that, and I met her for lunch, and I'm like, oh my God, I knew she would be great on the show. But our guest today is an actress, a songwriter. She was dubbed a firebrand by the New York Times. Yeah. She channels Courtney Love and is a goth version of Olivia Benson from Law and Order. That is a crazy, crazy combination, but I'm going to go with it, okay? The Village Voice summed her up by saying, "This is what you moved to New York for." I just love that quote. Please welcome the one and only Rew Starr.
Yay.
And we have a special guest with Rew. Can you hold our special guest? This is Jaja.
Hi, Jaja. Oh, look at Jaja is camera ready.
Yeah, Jaja's always ready, and that's your baby. You can slide in a little more. I want to get.
How are you, Rew? It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
I know, right? Even though it's crazy virtual, and it's funny. I saw you. I was following you down the street. I'm like, that's got to be Rew. But I remembered you with dark hair, I think, the last time. I said, but that's got to be Rew. And I know we're going to end up meeting at the corner or something. And lo and behold, we absolutely did. So great to have you on.
Thanks
today.
For having me.
Well, of course. You're to me like the quintessential, not just Lower East Side. You are what people move to New York for.
Yes,
artists. I agree. The prolific artist that's been working in every area, that's like loaded with a million stories.
This is true. And I'll be at that Lower East Side Festival.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we would expect that. Are you performing there? I am. Okay, can you tell us when?
Sunday at 9:30.
At night, wow! Oh, in the cabaret room.
In the cabaret room. I might be introducing you because I'm doing Sunday also.
He's doing 2 nights.
Amazing!
Yeah, I know.
I think I might be done by 9, but I'll see if maybe I can slip in one more introduction.
Yeah, but they give you the time 9:30, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that means it may run over.
Yeah, sometimes it's earlier, sometimes it's later.
I have only ever found it to be later.
Yeah. It can run anyway. But I know this is, I think, the third year.
Your third year doing it. Wow. Well, I love that we're all doing this together. Now you're I'm going to say it. You're a Bronx girl originally.
Well, I was born in the Bronx, but I never lived there.
No, I know. And I have to say, Rew is very honest about that. Any interview you see her on, it's one sentence.
And Jaja also was born in the Bronx and never lived there.
Right.
That's why she's soulmate. Yeah, we both are
Bronx girls.
Bronx born.
Me too. And I grew up there.
My parents grew up in the Bronx.
They did, right? And they wanted,
And my mother wanted us born. My grandmother was still living there at the time. And we were born near my Nana's apartment.
Where was that?
Bronx, Lebanon.
You were born in Lebanon Hospital.
I was born in Lebanon Hospital.
I know you had said that you were.
And I'm so happy of that.
Oh, that's so cool. Where did they live?
My grandmother lived. No, she lived on 115 East 169th Street between Jerome and the Grand Concourse.
Oh yeah, right near the stadium. Right near the stadium.
My grandpa was a Yankee Scout.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
and I had my first summer job in that neighborhood. I was 15 years old. I remember having lunch in a bodega. Everybody spoke Spanish. And there I was in my little pale blue blouse and a dirndl. Remember when dirndls? And I said to my parents, this is too far to have to take the train here. I have lunch alone every day. And my father said, you should be happy. I got you a job. My first summer job. So you grew up in Westchester.
Mostly, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, where in Westchester?
I hate admitting that.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not my fault. First, Hartsdale, Ardsley,
which I know really well.
And then we moved for a little while to Bedford, New York.
Okay, yeah.
See, you know, Ardsley, my husband and mother and family are buried in the Ferncliff Cemetery.
Oh, Ferncliff.
So I have roots there.
Across the street from there. We used to play in that cemetery.
Yeah, my cousins were there. We used to go when they would take the flowers off. I love this memory. Take the flowers off the graves and put them in the garbage. They were still good. So my cousins and I would come back with bouquets.
Malcolm X is buried.
Malcolm X is
we
there.
Went to that funeral. We snuck into that. We were little. My friend Robin lived across the street, right over there.
What memories we have of Ferncliff. But somewhere along the way, you veered from Westchester girl.
Yeah, I kind of left Westchester when I was 15.
Yeah. Did you leave willingly or?
Yeah. Well, I went to boarding school for almost 1 year.
Wow.
I didn't survive. I went to Choate, and I
can't believe you went to the Choate.
I have a song called Choate. It explains my whole little moment there.
Choate is it's in Connecticut.
It is in Connecticut.
Very highbrow. And believe it or not, when I was 16, I met the grandson of the Choate family, John Choate, on a trip in Puerto Rico. He was gorgeous. And I was there with my parents from the Bronx, and his family just were like, we would love for you to have dinner with us. And I remember my mother saying, my kid's sitting over there dining on filet mignon with the Choate family. And we're over here on the other side of it was really a funny story. But yeah, he was direct descendant to the Choate family.
Wow.
Why that school? Were they trying to straighten you out or something?
No. Choate is what unstraightened me out. I was a good kid until I went to boarding school.
Did you really?
Yeah, that kind of.
You were a what kid?
I was a good kid.
Oh, okay.
Like, I never fit in, blah, blah, blah. Felt weird. When I went to Choate, I was wearing, do you remember Fantasia platforms?
Yes.
I had Fantasia platforms. I had nails that were like this long. I'd never heard of LL Bean. I didn't even know what it was until I went to Choate. And I went there because I thought Jackie O went there, but then I found out years later she went to Miss Porter's
school for snotty young girls.
I used to go to Rosemary Hall. I only went there because I thought she did. JFK did go there.
He did.
This is part of the lyrics in my little Choate song. It's all like condensed.
Can you tell us a couple of the lyrics?
I flipped out at Choate. I flipped out at Choate. Started doing drugs and I lost my mind. I flipped out at Choate.
I love it.
Yes.
I could just see them singing that at graduation from that.
When there was MySpace,
right?
Someone wrote to me saying, "Oh my God, we found the Choate song. Like, we know who it's about." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Who?" And they're like, we know you wrote it." Like, and I was just like, wow. And then I actually played in Wallingford, Connecticut, and they told me I was not allowed to play that song. And And then I went back to Wallingford and they told me I could. I know. I always feel I'm the best kept secret. So one day, hopefully that song will get very popular in New Haven, Connecticut, or
where my mother's from originally.
What was it? what was it about Choate that
Yeah.
brought all this out? Was it
It was so different.
the feeling of being independent or being out on your own or
Oh, what made me want to go
Yeah,
there?
what made you like you rebelled
the
again?
rebellion? Yeah.
Oh, you got to hear the song. I got caught cheating on a quiz, a 10-point surprise quiz, and that's what changed my life.
Wow.
Literally, I got suspended. I got a whole bunch of stuff, and from that moment, everything in my life just went like, there's no way on earth I will ever go to an Ivy League school. When you're at Choate, you see everybody gets a job. Like one kid sweeps the dorm, one kid works in the kitchen.
That's to give you values
in the bookstore. Well, my job, I got the job of working in the office with the loveliest secretary. She was so nice. And my job was they had this big book, and then pink slips would come in of kids that cut class.
The pink slips,
and they would put them in this book. Kids found out that I was the person recording the slips, and they came and said, I'll give you free books. I'll give you free this.
Bribes, right.
And I was just like scared and quiet. And I was this weird girl with long nails and platform shoes. And that's what corrupted me. I learned about corruption at Bernie.
I know it sounds like things that go on in jail, right? Where people do that kind of thing. That is totally wild. So when you left Choate, you came back to regular public and graduated,
actually,
or you dropped out of school?
No, I did not.
You didn't? Okay.
I went back to school. Well, I didn't last the year because I actually had a nervous breakdown. And I got taken out of school.
Wow.
And then for the rest of that year, I got tutored from people from the local high school because they had to take, and it was great. It was so much fun. It was so good. And then I went back to high school and graduated in January when I was 16.
Right.
So at 16, then I went to college, and then
you were young for college. It sounds
young.
like your parents have been were so supportive of you.
Oh yes, they are. They were. But I was in a big rush to get here.
Right.
You know.
Right. You were one of those that were wound up. I
just wanted to get somewhere. And
did you go to college?
I did. I graduated.
Yeah.
I went to the University of Maryland.
Wow.
And,
that's a great school.
And the best part of that was I did a year in London because they had never had a London program before.
Wow.
We were the guinea pigs of the London program.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, it was crazy. So,
you had a fitting great there.
That was
she was a fire brand in London, all right.
That
right?
really, that really like opened my eyes to a lot of more
but that's an interesting progression from Choate in Connecticut and then Maryland for college and London, and you really got exposed to a lot.
You're a worldly person.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I gallivanted quite a bit in my youth.
Right.
Yeah. But like, it's so interesting to me too, that like being on the island of 212 area code Manhattan, I kind of keep it the most together. When I cross a river,
it's something terrible.
Right? Terrible, but like, so I don't know what can happen, you know.
So the platform shoes come out, the nails come out.
They never go away, actually.
So your family is very interesting. Your grandparents were in vaudeville.
My grandmother was in vaudeville.
What did she do in vaudeville?
She used to sing Sweet Georgia Brown, and they almost put that on her tombstone, Sweet Georgia Brown. Wow. She sang with her sisters, and I can't find anything on the internet, but I have old clippings of hers, and like I have a lot of photos. And they went by as the Baker sisters, which I don't even understand why, but like they were all born on the Lower East Side. My grandmother,
you have that legacy.
They were born here, and she was something else. My mother remembers going to this club, this like Chinese club, like that did vaudeville when she was little. And they sang, and she used to do the Charleston. Oh, my grandmother was
I love it.
Show us all the time how to do the Charleston. And my grandmother also would take us to see the Rockettes. She loved Radio City.
This had to come. You had to come from somewhere. This is it.
She loved the movies. We had to watch Mutual of Omaha and Walt Disney every Sunday night in the Bronx at her apartment.
I love it.
And she loved animals more than she loved people, my grandmother. She was the Pied Piper. Every stray dog, every stray cat knew my grandmother.
Wow.
She would walk around with a box full of dog biscuits. And she'd hit a corner and all the dogs would come. And then she would always have like a can opener because it didn't have these cans yet.
Right.
And she would have cat food and she'd get to a corner and open up the cat food.
What a sweetheart. What a sweetheart.
What a sweetheart. I have to ask you, you know Joe Preston and you know his grandmother ran Slugger and the bar.
Ann's on the corner.
At the same time. Have you two ever compared notes? His family is also what I call Lower East Side legacy.
Absolutely.
These stories are important because if we don't tell them, right, nobody will know.
Yeah, my Nana.
So did your Nana get to see you perform?
No, but what my Nana, she knew I was already starting to like write songs and perform. My Nana, what she said to me is, you have to do other people's songs. You have to cover songs. If you don't cover songs, your songs will never be as good as they can be. And I always hear her on my shoulder saying, the only way you get better is by doing covers of other people's songs.
Wow. Tell me why. I'm a non-singer, so why is that?
She's right, because when you're doing other people's songs, it teaches you how to rearrange and how to write. And she said, you can't just think writing original is going to be the best, because there's already best songs written. And for you to be the best, you have to listen to other people's best songs so you can improve your songwriting.
Right.
That's true.
Like what makes you think you're going to be the best when she's Jewish, right?
She was born Jewish, but she was not a
right.
Jew.
But that's a very, what makes you think you're going to be the best? That is such wisdom. Right.
And I always hear her on my shoulder, because that's when I really started, I was like, but I only do originals. And she's like, what are you talking about? You only do originals. No, you got to start doing other people's songs. And now I do all the time. And I understood exactly when I started learning other people's songs, because then you learn a new chord or you learn a new thing.
Right.
You know, and now I always do. And she's right.
Yeah. Well, grandma was right.
Yes. When did you learn or discover your passion for music, or your ability for music and for art? And
well, you know, truthfully, it was always a hidden secret of mine. Like I, believe it or not, was a really shy person, and I still am, believe it or not. Like people don't think of me as that, but people that know me really do know that. Like I like sitting outside eating. I don't like getting my nails done in a window. I don't like being public. I like being, I like being inside in the dark. And when I was really little, I had a babysitter named Paula that sang like a bird. She sang like Barbra Streisand. She was gorgeous and beautiful. And Paula used to put me up on like this little mantle in front of a fireplace and gave me a soap on a rope and would have me sing, because I wanted to be like Paula.
Wait, you had me at soap on a rope. Tim, we have never even seen a drag artist do that. That's hilarious.
I had a soap on a rope. And I'm telling you, Paula was the only person I felt comfortable singing in front of.
Wow.
And she was the most beautiful, wonderful person. And unfortunately, she was literally the story of Love Story, that movie.
Wow.
Died very young.
That
and
had to affect you.
Oh, I loved her more than anything. She is just, I know she's an angel in my life and I forget about it. But then like life went on, and I was in a chorus in 4th grade, but like I was shy. And then in 6th grade, we moved. That's when we moved to Bedford in January of 6th grade. And I was really shy. And we had this really, really intense music teacher, and Mr. Walters. And he would make you do scales like da 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 da. And then when I would get up there, he wouldn't even know who I was. He had his favorites, and like the real
you weren't one of them.
I was like really shy, and when I got there, I could do scales really low and really high. And he's like, "Who are you? You have this range. Like, who are you?" And I never even knew what that meant until him.
Right.
And then, but still, I didn't really participate in much. And then secretly, that's all I wanted to do. But
we have a dog going back and forth here. That's what were like,
I
oh,
can guess
but
Rajal was there.
doctor, lawyer in my family, and that was really like what was put in my mind, and so I secretly like shoved it all down. And then life took me to, like I said, I went to Maryland, I went to London, I worked in Philadelphia, and in Philly I managed a skincare salon, and then I would go out at night, and I learned a lot of stuff in Philadelphia of the good and bad. And I met this girl, Sandy, in a nightclub called the Eastside Club. The Eastside Club was the best club in Philadelphia. It was so fun. I loved it. And it was downstairs, and then there was this club upstairs called the Second Story, which was like,
because it was on the second story,
and that they were so different. And I would always say to them, "You got to call this the Lower East Side and the Upper East Side." And no one knew what I was talking about. That was so Upper East Side, and this was so Lower East Side.
And, that's so cool.
And I met this girl just like on the dance floor or whatever. This girl, she talked like this. And her name was Sandy, and she was really cute. She had long black hair and bangs, and that was that. Then Philly ended for me in a crazy way, and I ended up back in New York, and since then I have never left. And one day I got a job in Macy's for 14 days, and it was during Mother's Day, and I'm walking home. My parents at that time lived on Mercer. And
so they had moved into the city from Westchester. Wow.
Yeah, they had been back here.
Yeah.
And so like I go to Mercer Street, and I'm walking, and I hear this voice, and I see Sandy, and she's just like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I'm actually from here. I was just living in Philly." And she's like, "This is my friend Paul. He just moved here. He doesn't know anyone. Be his friend." I love it. And Paul said, "I only moved here because I love the Ramones. I want to see them as many times as I possibly can.
Oh, cool.
I play guitar. I don't sing. You look like you could sing and write words. I don't want to do that. Do you want to start writing songs?" And I was just like,
these are the great New York stories.
I love this.
And I was like, that's the only thing I ever wanted to do. And we exchanged phone numbers. Yes. And he and I started writing and writing and writing until
my grandmother told me I should only do covers.
That was before she told me that.
Right.
And that's when I started writing with Paul.
How incredible.
And then we finally did our first open mic, and from that we got a gig, and I never stopped since that.
Wow. Wow. That is so cool.
When we come to New York, do you think these things can happen anymore?
I don't know.
It's such a different.
It's
everything you're describing is.
You'd have to meet online, or
right. It's like it's all.
That's the thing.
Suddenly, Susan, what you're just. That's
the thing is that you experienced real life synchronicity.
Yes.
Right. Thank you.
And I don't know that happens that much anymore.
I think it
sadly.
Does. I think it does.
Maybe
I think so. Yeah.
I just had something recently, and I can't remember it right now. But I had one of those. I had a synchronicity.
It's just everything is.
I love that.
So I'm very much into the synchronicity, and my life still continues on that way. Planning, which I'm a planner, never works for me. But I wonder for like the age you were at and everything, I do wonder if it's like that for the people that come. Well, I came during Madonna.
And also we're more conditioned to real life synchronicity, whereas the younger kids now are walking down the streets like this on the phone constantly, and they're missing life. They're missing this person walking by them, and you know that's where I was coming from with that.
They're missing all the stuff that's going on.
But I am so glad that you found your voice and got to singing and got to writing. So why don't we I think we have a video.
Yeah. And this is an original. You're doing an original. It's not a cover. It's an original.
Please.
United Mistakes. This song is called Mistakes. I happen to be very good at that. I met an old man back in the day. He said, "Rue, you're gonna be a wise woman one day. The only way that this will ever come true is continuing to make all those mistakes that you do." Oh yeah. I turned to him and said, "I make a lot of mistakes, so baby, please make you not be one of them. I get so strong when you disappear. in the day. He said, "Ooh, you're gonna be a wise woman one day." I make a lot of mistakes, so baby, please make you not be one of them. I get so strong when you disappear, then you reappear and I crumble again, yeah. It starts all over again, yeah. I tumble again, I stumble, I fumble, I get up again, oh yeah. All right, say oh yeah with me, come on. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. For the best year of your life, oh yeah. For stars to get the Academy Award, oh yeah. Last one, make it good for the night, oh yeah. Thank you so much. Woo! Have a great night. It's only just begun. And I'm Rew.
Yeah.
First of all, I love
Oh
the
yeah.
piece.
It happened at Pangea.
I love this
Oh,
is at
that was
Pangea.
here,
I love
yeah.
that you
Uh-huh.
chose this piece in particular. It tells a lot about your personality.
It's so me.
It's so
Yeah,
so you,
yeah.
yeah.
I
And
make a lot of mistakes.
Well,
know,
I was just thinking while I was watching that,
I was just thinking she
we
makes a lot of
we
mistakes.
we call the definition of a mistake
Yeah.
is like a terrible thing. You misjudged. It's a bad thing. And in actuality, I have learned so much from my mistakes. Like they should just be called a stumble or something like that, rather than a mistake sounds so final, like you really messed up and you'll never recover and da, 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 But in actuality, mistakes, I've learned much of my life from mistakes.
That's what we learn from.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, right.
Okay, this is going to blow you both away. I don't make a lot of mistakes, but when I do, they are freaking juicy. It could take you the hell out. People that I had live with me I'm sure you have similar stories. Guys, that I met when I came to New York after college and stuff, real doozies that could have taken me out. And I only started learning from those mistakes like 10 years ago. I finally came upon the realization of the kind of people I let into my life. But now we're talking decades. I don't know why it took so long to wise up.
Hey.
It takes so long to wise up.
I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I feel like we're not guilty if
we're not guilty, right?
Don't get it, but once you do know that there's a consequence involved, if you do it, then it's your fault. But I feel it's really not your fault when you don't get it yet.
Exactly, I agree.
And I remember once my mother was like, "You never think about consequences," and I didn't even know what she meant. Right? I was like, "What are you talking about?"
What's a consequence?
And now I know what she means.
Right.
And it's true. Like if you do something and don't really know what can happen from it, it's almost like ignorance is bliss. But when you do know what can happen from it and
then you repeat it, right?
Then it's
well, stupidity repeats itself.
Then you're almost asking for it. Yeah.
Right. You're not learning from it.
And also when we're young and we're exploring and just living life, stuff happens. We're not thinking about those consequences. They wouldn't occur to us.
No.
Because we're just dealing with what's in front of us and we're reacting.
And adventure.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And living life, right? It's
yeah.
something that you do.
I mean, I'm grateful I did. I'm much not like that now. I'm much more cautious. And I also I don't want to repeat certain things because I do know the consequence.
Right.
You've also got kids.
I do.
Right.
I have grandchildren.
And you have grandchildren. Oh my God.
I have one on the way. I do.
Nice.
Your kids, were they aware of consequences? Like, you were not easy. I can tell that. I'm sure your mother went like this a lot.
Yeah. And my father also says, and you were driving. I was like, Dad, I never knew you even thought about that. Like, really? You cared about that? Like,
You were driving.
I know. At least my kids were in the city. They were like taking cabs.
They were taking cabs.
Or subway. Like I was driving. I was riding.
Did your daughters, from your knowledge, repeat any of?
Of course they did.
They did.
Of course they did.
Right.
See, then there were phones, and like, so I would have my kids on a long leash. But you see, if I would text them and say, "Are you alive?"
Right.
and they didn't text me back, I would be like, "Excuse me, the only reason you have that phone is to text me back. Everything else is a luxury.
Right. Yeah.
If you don't just say, 'I'm alive,' that's a problem."
Right.
I don't care what time of the day it is. Yeah. See, we didn't have that when we were kids.
No, we didn't.
Right, exactly.
We didn't. So you came into New York after Philly. Do you mind sharing the story about your early marriage?
Which part?
The part
where I got married?
The tour of the jails. I love that.
Oh, I went to a lot of jails.
Can you share? Do you mind? Yeah.
Was that performing? Performing, you mean, or
no? I loved
oh,
it.
just going. Okay, you just ended up in jail.
Performing in jails. No,
I did perform once at Rikers Island, and it was.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, it was amazing.
I love that. But you were involved with someone, and
yes,
he was.
I got married in prison.
Oh my God.
I did.
It's such an incredible story.
But I was not the inmate.
No, but they kept moving him.
They kept moving.
Her story. I had this story about that.
I got the tour of New York State through prisons.
They would move him every couple of months.
The only reason I'm not going to. We were like whatever.
But it's a funny story.
Yeah, it's just a crazy story.
It's your story.
It is my story, and I heard when he got taken upstate, they had this place in it was like really far upstate. There was a place that they don't have anymore. It was when the Coliseum was the Javits Center, the Coliseum, what's the Columbus Circle.
Yeah.
Well, they used
Columbus
to have
Circle.
this thing outside of there called Prison Gap. And Prison Gap were buses that would take you to all the prisons throughout the city.
Wow.
I mean, not the state.
She did like a prison tour.
I did a prison
so
tour
cool.
for 2 years. And then they had these things called trailers. Like, so if you were married, you'd get a trailer visit.
A conjugal visit, yeah.
You wanted to see a trailer. So I said, I'll marry you because I want to see what the trailers are like. And we were in love and everything, but like I wanted to see what
you wanted a trailer.
What these trailers look like.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to see what you want to see.
Never got a trailer in 2 freaking years. But we did get married, and we got married, and it was the Justice of the Peace's last wedding he was ever performing. Yeah. He was retiring on July 1st, and we got married June 27th. And he was really nice old man, and he said, "This is my last wedding." And we were like Fred and Lucy, we were like Lucy and Ricky. And then our best man was Diane and Danny, and they were like Fred and Ethel, and both of them are up there now.
God bless.
And Diane was like one of my closest friends for my whole life. We met on the bus.
As is fitting.
She was my sister, and like we remained close until recently. She passed away. And
I'm sorry.
I know. I love Diane so much. And but anyway, so we get married there, and then shortly after I visited like every single week, and then he got transferred to somewhere else. And then every time we'd get this close to a trailer visit, they would move him somewhere else. And then
that trailer visit was not to be, not for you.
Never had one. Never had a.
Oh my God.
I know, but I went all over this freaking state.
You went to Elmira, was one of the places.
Elmira. I have a song about Elmira because I went back and played in.
She played in Elmira.
And
I went to school near there.
Oh,
I went to Binghamton. Yeah, I know Elmira.
Oh, you know the prison?
Of course, I never went there, but I knew the prison. I'm like, this is like so. And then she goes back, and you play there later on.
I played in Elmira after, and no one on the tour with me was understanding why I knew that town so well.
She had been on the
Mark Twain Hotel, man. Oh my God,
in Elmira, right? And you were there both times.
I have been there many times, many times, and I have a song called "Unfinished Business" that I never really performed that I should. And it's about when I went back to Elmira. Yeah.
How do you survive all of this? What, like,
I don't
what,
know.
what, like,
Well, I once heard Lisa Bonet say,
yes.
she said, I love myself, I love my life, and I do yoga.
Ah,
And yoga helps.
yeah.
That's what she said.
It
does.
This is,
does
yeah,
there
I was.
does there just kind of get to a point where you're just like, okay, enough?
Yeah, I don't know. I always loved Lisa Bonet. I thought she was just
She's like a seer. She's like a seer.
I know.
But I
No,
guess
I meant like trying to get the trailer or like where you're just like, okay, enough, I'm done.
Well, then we were too far in, and then he came home, and then my parents wanted us to have like a
real
wedding.
wedding,
Like
a
they
real
didn't
one.
even know we got married. Nobody knew except Diane.
right, right.
Yeah. It's pretty complicated.
Oh, wow.
Incredible story.
Yeah. 2 years later, we had like the wedding from my family because at that time now my brother was ill with AIDS. And it was really his part. He was best man. We had a big wedding.
How
People
wonderful.
kept saying at the wedding, like, why aren't you nervous? Like, you're not a nervous bride. And it was like, people that knew,
come on,
like,
after
she's been married for 2 years. It's like,
I'm sorry, after the jail tour.
I know.
Like that. But I love that you did the wedding.
Always a bride, but never a trailer.
Right.
There you
I
go.
never saw a trailer, but the fact that we're talking about AIDS and in that time period, and this was very meaningful for your family, for your brother to have this wedding.
Oh, he was the best.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, he's my producer from up above. I always know that.
You feel him with you.
Oh, I know he
yeah.
is.
Yeah. How old was he?
He was 32 when he passed.
Really incredible. So this had to be in the 90s.
He died in 89, December 8th, 1989.
Wow.
Yeah, he was one of the
beginning ones. That, I mean, you have certainly gone through a lot in your life.
Oh, yeah.
How has it affected you as a performance artist?
You know, how I probably don't know how it affects me because I am living it. Like I don't know. Like I just know I probably internalize a lot of things, and I think art is really the only thing that can heal the world, period. And
we so
I just don't think there's any other way for life to get better unless you do art. And I always have this thing like even if you do lock someone up in prison, I always dream that they should have a room of just mud, and they should go in there and throw mud and make things out of mud. And like, I feel like if there was a mud room, I think that the mud would just like be the solution to help people, and they could make things that you could draw in the mud. You could
agree.
I feel mud would be the saving grace, but they're not going to do mud because that would work, and they don't like things to work.
Yeah, right.
Mud could be used as art, like like finger painting. I loved finger painting when I was a little kid. That was like my favorite.
The tactical thing, the way it feels.
I always want to have a restaurant called No Silverware. All I want is finger food.
Right.
I don't like using utensils and things. And my kid, people once said to us when they came to my house, they were like, you guys are like the movie Mermaids. I never saw the movie Mermaids. But then I had to watch it, and it's because all she served was hors d'oeuvres. Like they
right.
So like we always would get told things like that, and then we'd see it and be like, oh my gosh, that is us. And my two daughters, the one that wants to be Winona, and there's the other one wants to be Christina. But like, it's so funny because Christina Ricci is my older daughter, and Winona Ryder is my younger daughter.
So funny.
Because
it's backwards.
But that is them exactly. We would watch Practical Magic every single Mother's Day. That was our Mother's Day movie.
Oh,
I love it. Right.
Exactly. And it's funny because the one that is the older daughter who was Christina Ricci was Sandra Bullock, and she had two daughters, and that's the one that has a baby and one on the way, and she's having two daughters. The other one's the Nicole Kidman, and she doesn't want children.
Nicole Kidman.
And we were always like, So
you're very close with your daughters.
Oh my girls! If I'm texting, it's usually
and you have grandkids.
Well, I have one and one on the way.
That's so good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's shocking to myself.
How did they all feel about this incredible career that you've had? You haven't stopped.
No, I
being
don't
Rew. You didn't stop being Rew.
No,
ever.
No. I used to perform with them in my belly.
Yeah.
Like they've been coming to the clubs until kindergarten.
Right.
Kindergarten is what changed that.
Right.
Yeah.
System,
now.
right. System changed that. You, during the pandemic, what was the experience like for you emotionally?
Well, it was rough because, first of all, it happened on Friday the 13th of March. It's like Friday the 13th weekend. I started a job that Friday.
I never realized that.
And it's funny, I'm going to that job after this now, but like, it was just weird because that weekend changed everything. And and I have a niece that had stayed with me, not the Christmas right before, but the year ago Christmas. And she was 9 and we brought her to Santa and this and that. And she's just adorable. And she lives in the Bronx. And she kept saying to her mother, when am I going to go with Auntie's house again? I want to go over there. And so my niece kept saying, when are you going to take her? And I said, I'm going to take her birthday. My niece's birthday is April Fool's. And I said, I will take her before your birthday.
Right.
So we planned on that weekend of March 13th. Oh. And then like she came and I'm like, I had taken her to see the movie Mary Poppins I said, I don't think we can go to the movies and I don't think we can go to restaurants. I took her to the children's place and we bought so much stuff.
I remember that store.
That store's been closed.
Coupons.
It's been closed ever since on Union Square. And it's like, I feel we were the last sale at that store. And
you were the last people to shop there.
Buy a lot of stuff. I used to buy they had the best leopard.
Anyway, they really did. I bought my daughter leopard.
I have my kids would say, Ma, we don't even want to shop there.
You shopped at the children's place. I knew that you did.
And so anyhow, my niece, I remembered when she was there the last time, she liked to draw.
Right.
And I said, do you want to draw? Like, we can only really do things here.
Yeah.
So she was drawing these things and then she wasn't finishing them. And I was like, why aren't you finishing your drawings? Can I finish your drawing? And she's like, yeah, I don't care. So I finished her drawings and then I drew something by myself and then I posted it. I was like proud of my drawing because I'm a doodler more than and I doodled my whole life away. And I have every school book is like just doodles.
Doodled my whole life away. That is
I love that. That's a t-shirt.
I hear the lyrics now. So anyway, she's drawing and I post this picture and someone writes me right away saying like, I didn't know you drew. Like, can you draw me something? And I said, really? Like, I never drew anything for somebody before. She said, she wanted 2 different things. I said, let me try. And I did it. And I posted it the next day and she was all excited.
She loved it.
And then I said, then someone else said, wow, you drew that? Can you draw this? And now it started on Sunday.
Of the pandemic.
The day before school shut down, everything shuts down. And I said, I figured it was going to go for a few weeks. So I said, okay, I will draw something from somebody's suggestion as long as this pandemic goes.
So brilliant.
For the next however, I have a collection of over 400 freaking drawings.
I think that is like amazing.
From
one idea.
It turned into a session for the pandemic. And like, I sold a bunch. I've had some in galleries that have sold.
That's so
my
cool.
pandemic art collection.
Yeah.
And it just like it became my, oh my God, I have to do my drawing. It became my daily discipline.
You just kind of go with the wind blowing at whatever puts in front of you and you do it. And that's a real gift.
And I only use like the crayons, markers, Craypa, whatever was in my house.
Right.
Like I had all this stuff that was just sitting there. Right. No, and every single drawing is on the back of some used paper.
Yeah, I do that. I do that.
Every single one is recycled paper. And once this person comes out to me and says, we want to buy that one. And they're from California. And I'm like, oh, well, I only sell the prints of them. I'm not going to. And they're like, no, we want the original.
They want the original.
And I was just like, really? And they made me an offer. And I said, you get the original. And I sent it to them. And then they write me and say, oh, it was like, it was the monkeys. See no evil, hear no evil.
Oh, yeah.
So it was 3 monkeys. And then they told me that's the name of their recording studio in California. And when they got it, it was on the back of lyrics. And they were like excited.
That's so exciting.
They didn't know it was on that paper. And it was
wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, things like so. That's still like things happening like that. See
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
that's who you are.
It happens all the time. And I
Absolutely.
never take it for granted. And people are always
Right.
like, "But that always happens to you." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, it blows
Right.
my mind."
That's
If you
so
planned
cool.
it couldn't have worked like that.
Mm-mm.
Definitely could not have. You so Tim, you'll appreciate this. Rue had a talk show that Jed Ryan was on with his ferret. Our friend Jed Ryan, the writer and director and producer, and we love Jed to death. Can you share a little bit about that show? Rue and Who, right?
Yeah.
Rue and Who.
Rue and Who. It started out that I was a co-host. I was in a band called Ruby. I was Rue and B was B.
Right.
And B was working at some studio uptown, and they were going to start doing these internet talk shows. And B was like, I want to do that. And then they told him that he needs a female co-host. So he said, Rue, you want to host a show with me? And it was called Ruby's World. And it is on YouTube. It was through Arisma Studios. And it was this little like a storefront studio on 139th between Broadway and Riverside. God, I
love it.
Up there. And our show was every Wednesday, 4 to 6. And we had a 6-month handshake contract. And they had all the stuff they had
everyone lined up.
No,
you had to find the people. Yep.
And but they had like microphones and a board, and like we sat down and they ran the show. And then 6 months go into Ruby's World, and it was based off of Andy Warhol's 15 Minutes and and Marilyn's quote that everybody is a star and deserves their right to shine. And then what happened was after 6 months, B said, I am leaving. And it was like a Tuesday night. And the next day was Wednesday. And I felt indebted to my guests that were all booked. So it turned from Ruby's World to Rue and Who overnight. And then the first co-hosts I had was my other bandmates. And then it ended up becoming, they were the Who. So every show had a different co-host. So I would have a Who and then guests. And then after a few months of keeping it at Arisma, something was like, I can move this show. And I moved it to Otto Shrunken Head and was there for 7 years.
7 years.
At Otto. Otto's became my home away from home. Every Wednesday, 4 to 6. Then I would have a Brooklyn once a month at the Branded Saloon. And then I did them worldwide too. I did at NAMM, I had a Rue and Who. I did them in Prague. I did a bunch of them in London.
Wow.
I really wanted to take it all over the world and highlight rising stars and living legends. And a lot of carrots dangled in front of us of people saying that they were.
Yeah, there's a lot of carrots.
Yeah, but they all do bad. And then it took me a very long time to end the show because I felt so in debt. People took it so seriously, and it was 24/7. You know how it is putting a show together. You know what,
and it was yours. And when it's yours, you can't end it. Why end it?
I ended it because I was taking up my life, and the day that I finally did end it, I got into a play, and rehearsals were on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And if I just I couldn't believe I got this part. I'm used to being a musician, like sending out tapes, nothing, rejection. Acting, like I sent something out and they're like, you got the part. I'm like, wait a minute. What? You sure you didn't make a mistake? I got the part.
Right. Like, now what do I do?
Exactly. And I got this amazing part. And it was at the New Eurekan. And
I love that place. Yeah.
And it was, oh my God, this show was so amazing. And Eureka Lewis wrote it. And it was just, I played a doctor.
Your parents would have been so happy. It came full circle. Don't you see that?
Finally.
I knew I could do it. And, oh my God, I know. Dr.
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Dr.
Now also tell us a little bit about Love, Lust, and Run, which Stacey London show on TLC.
Yeah. Yeah, Stacy's really cool though, I have to say. Stacy is really, she came on my show after I did that. I still was doing Ruin Who when I was on Love Luster Run.
I love it.
So Love Luster Run was her spin-off of What Not to Wear. And Stacy was doing a show to she made me under, it was a make under, not a makeover. So she was saying that you're a little bit too much.
Right, she was understating.
Yes.
Right.
Let's tone you down a little.
Yeah, it was more of like, a show like that. So it was a make under, not a makeover.
Nice.
And truthfully, I realized I could play that part as a soccer mom. Make me under. Oh, make me under.
Make me under.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a great experience. I actually got a record deal out of that show.
Nice.
Amazing, because this person in Baltimore saw it, and Monterey Records is another storefront record label, but I love them to death. And they saw that episode, and they didn't even watch the show, but they saw it, and he contacted me through my website, which I never checked the email. And even when I went back to them to look at he says, like, wait, we saw you on this show, and we know you're from New York, and we're in Baltimore. We only do mid-Atlantic, but like, we'd slide you in if you want to work with us. And then when I said I went to Maryland, they were like, perfect. Yeah. So I've been working with them now for a number of years, and I go to Baltimore to record, and then
I love it.
They have a band as well, Mike, and he's coming up to play. I book him. He plays at Otto's like at least once a year. Nice. So we have a show in July that they're coming up to play at.
And you have to let us know,
it's July 30th.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, make sure you text
I wrote
me.
a list of upcoming things.
Look, some people have postcards. No, wait, I have to hold this up to the camera. People come with postcards and flyers. And
I love it.
Look what our Rue has.
I love it.
Works out for you. Can you read the list so that we know?
I actually did this so I didn't forget. Parkside, I will be this Friday, 5:15 for the Roxanne Fontana Memorial. Roxanne was on my show many times. Such a beautiful soul. That's going to be 5 to 9. Ann Hussick produces that show,
and we love Ann Hussick,
yes,
right? And she's such a great person, amazing musician,
unbelievable.
Yeah, I love her.
Then the weekend I'm filming a short film. I play a serial killer.
Fun.
Fun. So cool.
I love your range.
And then May, that Sunday at the Lower East Side Festival at Theater for the New City.
Right, we'll be there.
June 4th, I have a birthday gig for me at the Shrine in Harlem.
Oh my
at
God.
8 p.m.
Wow.
That will be a great night. And then June 13th, filming another thing. I'm going to be the runner of an orphanage. Miss White. Yes, that's me. Then 7:31 is the show for Otto's where Baltimore's coming. Then 8:23 Otto's. Then this one in November, every weekend in November, I will be in a show at Theater for the New City.
Oh, that's so cool. You're casting. That's great. Yeah. Where do you have this? Like, how do we follow you? Is this on your Facebook page? Is it on your website?
I mean,
that's a
Instagram,
lot.
I know. I'm really. I used to have a great mailing list, and I used to have
it all
this
becomes
stuff.
too much.
It got deleted. Somehow, my original Facebook page they took from me. My mailing list got lost the same day, and I just feel like maybe I'm just not supposed to self promote because
no, you have to. Val Kinsler, when she's doing anything, all you do is go on Messenger.
Oh, I
like
do.
Right. So put us on your Messenger, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Okay.
It's so easy to do. And it won't take a lot of time. Even today, to promote this show, I was an hour before with a link, and I went on Messenger.
I put it on. I do it in the stories. I do post everything, but I don't feel anybody sees it.
No, they do. If you
they do.
They totally do. I want to get to the comments.
Yeah, we've got a few comments.
A couple of comments on here. Okay. Our wonderful friend Rose Trenton. Hello, my dear friends. Sending you both hugs. The artists in Europe, for the most part, want to connect with their fans, and that's how friendships are forged. Truer words have never been spoken.
Absolutely. I also want to say thank you to Rose Trentman. She was so kind and sent me some things for my birthday. That was very sweet.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
65.
And Junia Stanos, thank you all. Thank you, Junia. That's a new name for me for tuning in. So our wonderful friend Sue's a wonderful designer, costumer, and
Massachusetts, yeah,
and a dog mom, and as well as she likes other things too. And she wrote she went to boarding school. Also, she said there was a big drug bust, I think, at that school in the 80s.
Oh yeah, there was. There's a movie about it. It's called
Rose Trentman also said that she's a South Bronx babe.
Yeah.
Right. Rose is a Bronx girl too. But yeah, so they busted your school and
Oh yeah.
Wow.
There's a movie called The Preppy something. You can find it. Yeah. Oh no, Chode is infamous.
So Sue said she loved boarding school, but it can be intense. And Robert De La Cruz, hello all.
Hey Robert.
Thank you, Robert, for tuning in today. You have a bunch of stuff coming up, and please, if at least text me.
I will.
Let me know. Just it's one person to text.
Easy.
And if you have fliers, share them. I do that with everybody, right?
Thank you.
Tim also, yeah. Thank you. This has been so great. What happened? Oh, the dog is off camera.
Well, we have to see if you can get Jaja and bring Jaja back in so we can say goodbye.
Yeah, we take a picture.
There's Jaja.
Okay, are we gonna take our picture now?
Yep, just a second. It'll take me a second.
Who is Jaja?
Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1. And I'm just wait for the preview to move out, and we'll take one more. Okay, there we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hey, Jaja.
Hi.
Ro, this is so great having you. And I love being able to say I'll see you at theater for the new city.
Absolutely.
Yes. And, I mean, you have an incredible career, and it's like you and I have talked. It's just me personally, too many things, too many directions. And everybody asks me, well, what if you had your druthers? What would you want? A contract on Netflix where I work every 6 weeks, make a fat amount of money. Then I'm off to do like a couple of other cool projects. And then I'm back there again. Life would be like so much easier. This is just like, it's like
I'll drink to that.
A poo-poo. It's like a poo-poo platter. It is like, I look at what you've got coming up, and it's all great. And you know what? We're all blessed that we're working, but I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I have a lot of jobs in between all that.
And a lot of jobs. Right? A lot of jobs, right? Thank you, everybody who tuned in today.
Much.
Great to see you again, birthday boy. Tim, we need to do that birthday dinner or lunch. Whatever you want. And next week, I'm going to announce it ahead of time. We will be back with the one and only Felipe Rose.
From the Village People.
Well, actually, solo career now, major solo career, and going to be at 54 Below in June.
Yeah. But he was the original Native American in the Village People.
Yeah, you know Felipe. Yeah. He's just, again, another one with incredible staying power. That's what we're talking about here, staying power. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.